So 11.6, we wrote a bunch of two-step equations and inequalities. Now we're going to solve them. So let's remind ourselves of how these are one-step equations and inequalities, right? So if it's add 13, you subtract 13 from both sides, and x equals 12 there. If it's subtract 4 3/10, you add 4 3/10 to both sides, and you get 19 4/10 equals x. Those were equations. These are inequalities. Same procedure though. X is being multiplied by 2. Divide both sides by 2. Keep the symbol exactly the same. 54 divided by 2. Here's one of the rare times you might want to do side work. X is less than or equal to 27. X divided by 3 is greater than 14. We multiply both sides by 3. And you keep the symbol the same, and x is greater than 42. So that's considered solving a one-step. So we're going to be solving two steps. The first step of solving a two-step is get rid of the constant that's on the same side that x is on. That's why I made you circle that in the last lesson. All right, so what is the constant? Get rid of it. So it's add, right? There's two constants, 6 and 20, but the one on the same side that x on is 6. So you subtract 6 from both sides. Now, you do not have x by itself at this point, right? We're not there. What we have there is 2x. 2x plus 6 minus 6 is 2x, right? We haven't gotten rid of that 2. 20 minus 6, right, is 14. I'm going to stop there because it doesn't say solve it. It says get rid of the constant on the same side as x. So that's considered step 1 of a two-step. Same thing here. What would be the first step? The constant on the same side as x is this 1. So it's add 1, so you subtract 1 from both sides. And there's step 1. Now hopefully you look at those and you say, oh, I can solve those. Now, what's the constant on the same side? It's 6. Now we're going to talk about this, but you're subtracting 6 not because of that plus. That plus goes with the 5x. The only way to get 6 to turn into a 0, right? We're turning these into zeros here, is to subtract 6 from both sides. So we're subtracting 6 from both sides. 20 is greater than or equal to 5x. Right? This crosses out. Here finally, we're got a minus 7, so there's the constant on the same side. We're adding 7. X divided by 3, we're keeping that symbol the same. 4 plus 7 is 11. Now that is step 1. So notice in step 1, you're always adding or subtracting. Yeah, it's never any other way. In a two-step equation, we're going to add and subtract first. And there's a reasons for that we'll talk more about on another day. But what's left, right? What's going to always be left is your multiplying or dividing. Right? These are all one-step equations and inequalities in which you would multiply or divide both sides. Finally, we have one with multiplying. All right, so that's the process, right? And so in blue, that's what step 2 looks like in a two-step. Step 1 is add or subtract. Step 2 is multiply or divide. All right, so let's go through and solve these now all the way. So subtract minus 5, add 5 to both sides. 3x equals 12. That's step 1. Step 2, x is being multiplied by 3. Divide both sides by 3. And x equals 4. And that's step 2. Now, that may seem like a lot of work, but you're going to get so good at it that you're going to be faster than trying to do it in your head. Could you do these in your head? Yes, you could. What number? 3 times what number? Minus 5 equals 12. Oh yeah, 3 times 4 minus 5 oh, I goofed up somewhere. Equals 7 because the original equation was 7. 3 times 4 minus 5 equals 7. Yeah, it's 12 minus 5 equals 7. Now, but notice when I did it in my head, I made a mistake. So that's a good example of maybe why you want to use this method. But you're going to get faster at this method than doing it in your head, especially once we throw negatives, decimals, and fractions in there. Okay. All right, so the constant is minus 2, so we're going to add 2 to both sides. 7 plus 2 is 9. We're going to keep that symbol exactly the same. So x is being divided by 8. So we're going to multiply both sides by 8. I ran out of room here, but 72 is less than or equal to x. And again, if you don't have anything else to do, you can leave it that way. So it's add 3, so we're subtracting 3 from both sides. X divided by 4 is greater than 6. That's step 1. Step 2, x is being divided by 4, so you multiply both sides by 4. X is greater than 24. We have plus 4, so you subtract 4 from both sides. 18 minus 4 is 14. 14 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. 7 equals x. And that is the process of solving two-step equations or inequalities. It's virtually the same. So now let's put some decimals in here as promised. Minus 7.4 means we're adding 7.4 to both sides. I'm getting 9.5 equals x divided by 3. X divided by 3 means we're multiplying both sides by 3. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 9 is 27. 28. Move the decimal point. 28.5 equals x. Now we're solving an inequality. Now again, since that is, you're getting rid of a positive 5, you're subtracting 5. If it was 5 minus 2x, we're going to do this on a different day, you'd still subtract 5 here. It has to do with the fact that that's positive 5. Okay, so subtract 5 from both sides. 2x is greater than 7. Divide both sides by 2. Yes, the answer doesn't have to be a whole number. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so this is 3.5 for those who really, but let's understand, is that 7/2 a simplified fraction? Yes, so you could stop there. That's the correct answer. Yes, so is x is greater than 3.5. Yes, so is, well, why do you need to make it 3.5? A good reason to make it 3.5 a lot, especially if it's a word problem. Yeah, you might make it 3.5 if it was money, because then you'd want $3.50. But if it's a plain old equation, 7/2 is perfectly acceptable. All right, if you understand, you can solve for x here. So let's look at this. Y equals mx plus b. What's the procedure? Oh, well, let's write it in blue since I wrote it originally in blue. So y equals mx plus b. So what is the constant on the same side? Well, the constant on the same side is the b. So it's plus b, you're subtracting b from both sides. So what do I have now? I have y minus b equals mx. Now what you do? Well, you divide both sides by m, right? So now there's the answer. It's y minus b divided by m equals x. And notice I divided the entire side. Remember, I made a point of saying, I don't say divide that number by m or whatever it is. I say divide the entire side. Here's a perfect example. This is y minus b, that entire side, divided by m. Now, if there are other ways to write that, we'll go over that another day. But the key is you're dividing both sides by m. Right? This entire side was divided by m as well. Let's practice. So if it's minus 5, you add 5 to both sides. 6x equals 18. Divide both sides by 6. X equals 3. Add 13, so you subtract 13 from both sides. X divided by 9 is greater than or equal to 5. Multiply both sides by 9. X is greater than or equal to 45. So notice, 45 or bigger are the numbers, the infinite amount of numbers that make this true. Here, add 53 to both sides. 84 equals 7x. Divide both sides by 7. 12 equals x. Here, you're subtracting 3 because that's a positive 3. X divided by 4 is less than 5. X is being divided by 4, so you multiply by 4. X is less than 20. Decimals, add 12, line up your decimal points over there. 32.4 equals 4x. Divide both sides by 4. Yes, we're going to need to do 32, some side work this time. 4 into 33 doesn't go, but 4 into 32 goes exactly 8. Decimal straight up, 4 straight down. 4 into 4, 1. That's nice. So 8.1 equaled x. Solve y equals ax minus b for x. So y equals ax. So y equals ax minus b for x. So we have to, it's minus b, we're adding b to both sides. Right? So I got y plus b equals a times x. Now I have to divide both sides by a. And so what does x equal? Yeah, y plus b, and there's my lowercase a, divided by a. You have to divide both entire sides by a. Inequality here, we're adding 56 to both sides. 25x is less than or equal to what? 15, 75, divide both sides by 25. 25 goes in 75 3 times. X is less than or equal to 3. Good luck with the homework.